Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing his word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping his word of sincerity and the truth. Okay. I just wanted to go into this quick lesson. I was reading Proverbs 28, and I read verse 17 in the AMP. And when I read it in the AMP, it instantly made me think about multiple scriptures came to mind. Genesis, I think it's chapter 3. I'm sorry. Genesis, maybe I think it's chapter 4. We're trying to get chapter 4, chapter 5, going into Cain and Abel. Cain getting his punishment. It made me think about Esau. Scriptures about Esau, and it was so many scriptures that came to mind. So I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna get straight into it. This is Proverbs 28 and 17. In the AMP, it says, "A man who was burdened with the guilt of human blood, or AKA murder, will be a fugitive unto death. Let no one support him or give him refuge." And this is literally the life story of Esau Edom, going all the way back to the serpent, but actuality starting with Cain, because that's when the Lord told Cain he was going to be a fugitive. Let's see. We'll start at the top. This is Genesis chapter 4, starting at verse 1. It says, "Now the man Adam knew Eve as his wife." I wanted to see if it had said something else. "And she conceived and gave birth to Cain, and she said, I have obtained a man, baby boy son, with the help of the Lord. And later she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now Abel kept the flocks of sheep and goats, but Cain cultivated the ground." A direct parallel to Jacob and Esau. "And in the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground, but Abel brought an offering of the finest firstborn of his flock in the fat portions." Right. Hold on, so like I got this. Salaki. "And the Lord had regard for Abram and for his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no respect. So Cain became extremely angry, indignant, and he looked annoyed and hostile. And the Lord said to Cain, Why are you so angry? And why do you look so annoyed? Why you look annoyed? If you do well, believe in me and doing what is acceptable and pleasing to me, will you not be accepted? And if you do not well, but ignore my instruction, sin crouches at your door. Its desire is for you to overpower you, but you must master it." But in the KJV it said, "Thou shalt rule over him," meaning he's gonna become one with sin, the man of sin. That's what the Edomites are called. It also calls them the border of wickedness. Cain talked with Abel, his brother, about what the Most High had said, and when they were alone, working in the field, Cain attacked Abel and killed his brother. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is Abel your brother?" And he lied and said, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" The Lord said, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's innocent blood is crying out to me from the ground for justice. And now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's shed blood from your hands." So here it is, murder, which we already know Cain murdered Abel. He didn't just kill him, he murdered him. Because that's why the Lord said his innocent blood is crying out unto him. And now it said he's the blood that he shed, the blood that Cain shed. And now this is his punishment. It says when you cultivate the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength. It will resist producing good crops for you. You should be a fugitive and a vagabond, roaming aimlessly on the earth perpetual exile without a home, a degraded outcast. Right. Now let's get the word definition of fugitive. And it says a fugitive is a person who has escaped from a place or is in hiding, especially to avoid arrest or persecution, or to quick to disappear, fleeting. An escapee, a runaway, a deserter. And this is wanted, on the loose or at large. And this is literally the Edomites, starting with the top elite on down. They are fugitives and vagabonds in the earth. They have a hit out on them. They have a hit out on them from the Heavenly Father, from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And they are, the heavenly realm is literally coming back to deal with Esau Edom. Let's get that in Isaiah 65. No, is it 63? It's 63. This is Isaiah 63 and 1 AMP. Who is this who comes from Edom with crimson stained garments from Basra in Edom? This one, the Messiah, who is majestic in his apparel, marching in the greatness of his might. I like it. I don't know why I'm stuffed up. It is I, the one who speaks in righteousness, proclaiming vindication, mighty to save. Why is your apparel red and your garments like the one who treads in the winepress? Right, because it said, who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This is basically going into when Yahushua comes back, and he and it's symbolic of if somebody went out with white garments on and stepped all in the wine press, and all the wine juice is gonna get on and stain their garments. It's going into how much bloodshed Yahushua is gonna do when he come back and stomp out these Edomites, especially over here in America. You know, because and the reason why is going into because they are fugitives and vagabonds. They have shed so much blood of the Israelites on this earth and done so much wickedness that they have to be paid back for. And like I said, they are a fugitive and vagabond. Let nobody help them. Nobody's coming to the aid of these Edomites. It says, I have trodden the wine trough alone, and of the people there was no one with me. I also tread them in my anger and trampled them in my wrath, and their lifeblood is sprinkled on my garments, and I stain all my clothes. For the day of vengeance against ungodliness was in my heart, and my year of redemption of those who put their trust in me, the year of my redeem has come. Right. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, well, I'm going to keep going. And I looked, but there was no one to help. And I was amazed and appalled that there was no one to uphold truth and right. So my own arm brought salvation to me, and my wrath sustained me. I trampled the peoples in my anger and made them drunk with the cup of my wrath, and I spilled their lifeblood on the earth. So this is what Yahweh is coming back to do. Let's go back to the Proverbs. I forgot which verse it was. Okay, Proverbs 28:17. A man who is burdened with the guilt of human blood, which is murder, starting with Cain, and we know what Esau, and we know what his generations has done on down. So like once it. We know what his generations have done all the way up until he became the nation of Esau. It said, we'll be a fugitive unto death until his judgment finally comes. Let no one support him or give him refuge. Now let's go. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know how to spell it. Spell his name. How they got it written up in here. Let's see. It should go into the generations. Oh, this might be it. Okay, yeah. Cain. Okay, here we are. I'm gonna start at 17 and just read it down. I'm gonna read in the KJV. It says, "And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he builded a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Arad, and Arad begot Mehujael, and Mehujael begot Methusael, and Methusael begot Lamech, and Lamech took unto him two wives. The name of the one was Adah, and the name of the other Zillah. And Adah bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of such as handle the harp and organ. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal Cain was Naamah. Naamah. Let me see. It says forge and tools, craftsmith. I just want to see if it said about the weapons, because it said Tubal Cain was good with being a craftsman, making all sorts of crafts. He was a smith, but he also went into weapons. I think, matter of fact, it might be in his name. Let's see. Tubal Cain. First worker with metal. Let's see. Okay, it just say he went into working with iron, with metal. But one of those things that he crafted was weapons. Okay, let's go back. It says, verse 23, and Lamech said unto his two wives, said unto his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. I'm going to read this in the AMP. Lamech said to his wives, Adah and Zillah, you wives of Lamech, listen to what I say. For I have killed a man merely for wounding me, and a boy only for striking, bruising me. If Cain is avenged sevenfold, as the Lord said he would, then Lamech would be avenged 77-fold. Right. It says Lamech arrogantly declares to his wives that if someone kills him, he would be entitled to far greater vengeance, since he merely retaliated for harm suffered, while Cain's murder of Abel was by comparison unprovoked. Right. So, like he said, he arrogantly declares this. It was Lamech who killed someone and murdered someone for whatever the situation might have been. He still murdered someone for merely he said for being wounded. And he was, because the punishment for Cain, saying if some, because the Lord, which I should have read it. I'm gonna go back to it. Let's see, where is it? Oh, it's in verse chapter 4. I should have kept going. Verse 13, this Genesis 4 and 13, it says, Cain said to the Lord, AMP, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the land, and from your face presence. I will be hidden, and I will be a fugitive and an aimless vagabond on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. And the Lord said to him, therefore, whoever kills Cain, a sevenfold vengeance, that is punishment 7 times worse, shall be taken on him by me. And the Lord set shouldn't he set a mark, a sign on Cain, so that no one who found or met him would kill him. Let's see. Yeah, it don't go into it. Oh wait, it does. Okay. I'm gonna read the whole thing. Well, yeah, I'm gonna read the whole thing, but it's going into leprosy. I'm not even gonna read yeah, I am. It says many commentators believe the sign not to have been like a brand on the forehead, but something awesome about Cain's appearance that made people dread and avoid him, aka his appearance, what he looks like. That's why Esau came out red. And Esau came out red all over, like a hairy garment. That's why Esau came out looking different. Because he had they're without melanin. It says in the Talmud, the rabbi suggested several possibilities, including leprosy, and that's why they tell you leprosy first. That's the reason why they mention leprosy first. Now let's see what leprosy is. It says a contagious disease that affects the skin, mucous membranes, and nerves, causing discoloration and lumps on the skin, and in severe cases, disfigurement and deformities. It says mainly confined to tropical Africa and Asia. Let's see what else it say. Let's see. Let's see if it'll give us some pictures. It's going into discoloration. So. Let's see what they show. See, I put in leprosy and white people, and they still showing the same pictures. And then they want to try to show you some reverse. Like, these people are crazy. But how come when somebody else that's dark skinned have a discoloration or pigmentation, their hand turns white? This goes to prove it right here. This person is clearly dark skinned. This person is clearly what would be considered a so-called black person with discoloration, disfiguration, or leprosy, and their hand turns white. As a matter of fact, let's see. Oop. Let's see. I'm trying to get where Moses' hand. Here we go. Exodus chapter 4. This is Exodus chapter 4, starting at verse 1. A and P. It says, then Moses answered the Lord and said, what if they would not believe me or take seriously what I say? But they may say, the Lord has not appeared to you. And the Lord said to him, what is that in your hand? And he said, a staff. Then he said, throw it on the ground. So Moses threw it on the ground, and it became a living serpent, like the royal symbol on the crown of Pharaoh. And Moses ran from it. But the Lord said to Moses, reach out your hand and grasp it by the tail. So he reached out his hand and caught it, and it became a staff in his hand. You should do this, said the Lord. And you just imagine, like, you got a stick in your hand, and you just walking. You know how people go walking and they hiking, and they walking with a stick, and then just say you accidentally drop and it just become a snake. Like, you gonna run away too. The Lord said, you should do this, said the Lord, so that the elders may believe that the Lord, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has most certainly appeared to you. The Lord also said to him, put your hand into your robe where it covers your chest. So he put his hand into his robe, and when he took it out, his hand was leprous, as white as snow. Leprous going into a skin disease. And there it is again, including the Hansen's disease, true leprosy. That's what leprosy is. It's you lack pigmentation, you lack melanin. So we know the Israelites was dark skinned people. They are the so-called Black, Hispanic, Latinos, and Native Americans today. The Lord, then the Most High said, put your hand to your robe again. So he put his hand back into his robe, and when he took it out, it was restored and was like the rest of his body. So that means the rest of his body was colored. It has pigmentation. So when he took it out, when he put it into his robe and took it out the first time, it was leprous. It was white. He looked like an Edomite. And then when he put his hand back in and took it back out, it went back to normal. So going back to Genesis chapter 4, when the Lord said that mark that he put upon Cain, and when they was going into this footnotes where it talked about leprosy, that's what it was going into. That's why they said it first in the footnotes. That mark or that sign is going into Cain, which is Esau. Esau, when he came out, which I need to get that now. This list is kind of going a little bit longer than what I thought, but, you know. Lord, with this elephant. All right, so this is Genesis 25. This is Genesis chapter 25. I'm going to go straight to the point. This is Genesis 25:22. But the children struggled together within her. This is Jacob and Esau, kicking and shoving one another. And she said, if it be so that the Lord has heard our prayer, why then am I this way? So she went to inquire of the Lord, praying for an answer. The Lord said to her, the founders of two nations are in your womb, and the separation of two nations has begun in your body. The one people shall be stronger than the other. The Israelites are stronger than the Edomites, and the older shall serve the younger. The Edomites will serve us. That time is fastly approaching. When her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out reddish all over, like a hairy garment, and they named him Esau, which is hairy. So when he came out red all over, that's the same way that Edomites babies are born now. Let's see that. I don't even know how to put this in. This is what it's going into. Red skin. Matter of fact, I typed in red skin newborn babies, and you see who popping up. You see exactly who popping up. It's primarily the Edomites, primarily Edomite children, and even more so like that first one. or this one, even more so like this one. Even though that's premature, that's more so how they come out. Or they're gonna come out with some red in them. Look at this. Even though it's something wrong with them, some of them, some of the, it's going into issues with the babies having some type of issue or whatever. In that scripture, it said they came out red all over, like a hairy garment. That's how Esau came out, red. So going back to the scripture, came out reddish all over, verse 25, like a hairy garment, and they named him Esau, hairy. Afterward, his brother came out, and his hand grabbed Esau's heel, so he was named Jacob, the one who grabbed by the heel, supplanter. Isaac was 60 years old when Rebekah gave birth to them. Right, so, like I said, Jacob came out normal. They didn't even go into his description. Why? Because everybody else, the rest of the children look, that's how everybody else looked, melanated. Esau Edom was the only one that came out unmelanated. So he has no way to hide his identity. This is the fugitive that it was going into, both in that Proverbs 28 and in Genesis chapter 4, where he's a fugitive and a vagabond. And even going down to his generations, like it said, going back to verse 24, it said, if Cain is avenged sevenfold, as the Lord said he would, then Lamech will be avenged 77-fold. His generations are just like him. His descendants are just like him. Just like these Edomites. Today, they're just like their forefather. He was trying to kill Jacob, the progenitor of the Israelites, just like these Edomites today are slaughtering our people. There's nothing new under the sun. And these people certainly aren't new. Like I said, Lamech, and he like even in the footnote said, it said he arrogantly, which footnote was it? Is it this one? Yeah, he arrogantly tells his wives, like, shit, if somebody kill me, the person that killed me, they gonna be held with greater punishment than what they did to me, because the same thing the Lord said to my forefather, and that's how he run his system today. If Jake do, well, if any of the other nations, but especially if one of the tribes do anything to these Edomites that results in them dying, especially if it results in them dying, oh, you're not going to be shown no mercy. They're not going to show you no mercy. They're going to carry out this scripture to the fullest, these scriptures to the fullest. Their retaliation is going to be far greater than anything that you did. Esau, and we seen that during the time of the civil rights movement. We seen that during matter of fact, it's untold stories about what happened, what they've done, and some of the stuff, a majority of the stuff, Jake was innocent. Jake, 90% of it, Jake was innocent, if not all of it. Jake was innocent. Jake didn't do anything, and Esau came after our people. And he didn't just get the target that he wanted. He got your family too. And sometimes, in some cases, people that was associated with your family, like they didn't stop. So like this is how these people roll. This is how they do. And the Lord is going to judge them for all the things they have done, every single thing that we don't even know about. He's seen it all. So going back to Proverbs 28 and 17, AMP, a man who is burdened with the guilt of human blood or murder will be a fugitive unto death. Let no one support him or give him refuge. Right, so I'm gonna get two more. Get the account with Lazarus and the rich man. And I'm gonna get straight to the point on it. This is Luke 16:23. I'm gonna read 23 in the AMP KJV, then I'm gonna read the rest of it in the AMP. So it says, and in hell he lifted up his eyes. Now I'm gonna start at verse 22. It says, And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom. Now this is all symbolic because the rich man is Esau Edom, the nation of Edom, and Lazarus is representation of the Israelites. And so it said, and basically when the rich man was in power, he didn't show no he completely oppressed Lazarus, didn't show him no mercy, and didn't try to help him when Lazarus was at the bottom. But when the roles reversed, it said the rich man was in hell and Lazarus was in power. He was in his paradise. He was in his heaven, basically. Now the rich man is in his hell. So it says, verse 24, AMP. And he cried out, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus so that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, because I am in severe agony in this flame. But this ain't going into no hell. No hell under the ground. The rich man wasn't underground burning. This is going into a condition on earth. And dipping his tip of his finger in the water and cool the tongue is just going into showing mercy. That's all it's going into, to show mercy. But no mercy will not be shown to he who showed no mercy. But Abraham said, son, remember that in your lifetime, you received your good things, all the comforts and delights, and Lazarus likewise for bad things, all the discomforts and distresses. But now he is comforted here in paradise in his heaven, which is the kingdom of heaven for the Israelites, while you are in severe agony, because the kingdom of heaven is made to uplift and promote life on earth, but it's centered and basically it's for the Israelites, no other nation. Just like this kingdom right now is made specifically for the Edomites and not no other nation. It's for the Edomites to thrive. The other nations have a place in it because the Esau is using them to oppress us. If they was on our side, trust me, Esau Edom would be against them too. But he's using them to further oppress us. So this is what this is going into. In the kingdom of heaven, this is going to be reversed. We going to be on top. He going to be at the very bottom. Verse 26. And besides all this, between us and you people, going into a nation, it's not just no one man, this is a nation. It says, you people, a great schism has been fixed, so that those who want to come over from here to you will not be able, and none may cross over from there to us. Right. So what Abraham is basically going into is the kingdom of heaven. Everything is already set in stone. When the kingdom of heaven is established, we gonna be programmed to the point to where we not even gonna have an ounce of mercy for these Edomites. We're not even gonna think about showing them mercy. We're not gonna have that mindset. Yahweh Shem Abishai is gonna keep us. He's gonna program us to not even want to show them no mercy, because a part of human nature is a part of us. Because Esau, he don't have that. He don't have that shred of mercy for us. It be Yahweh Shem Abishai that forces him to do it. But human nature, we're a compassionate people. At some point, we would show mercy, and we've done it time and time again in His kingdom. We have forgiven and tried to make peace with Him and amends, and He constantly abused that of our nation. So, like I said, it's gonna be fixed. The kingdom of heaven is specifically geared towards the Israelites, and that's the only nation. No other nation will take part in the blessings or the benefits of the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be in servitude, just like Esau Edom. And it's going to specifically him being in servitude, just like it said in Genesis chapter 25. So we ain't gonna show him no mercy. They not going to come and enjoy anything in our kingdom. So I want to get that. And then I'm going to get Isaiah 14. Let me get straight to the point. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna get straight to the point. Okay, this is Isaiah 14 and 16, and it really don't even matter. I'm reading KJV. It says, "They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake nations, that made that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast away out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the pit, to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet." In verse 19, the AMP, it says, "But you, king of Babylon," which is Esau, Edom, modern day Babylon is America, "have been cast out of your tomb, denied burial." Just like it said, we didn't get no proper burial. Revelation 11, it said they gonna be denied burial, like a rejected branch, clothed with the stain, who are pierced by the sword, who go down to the stones of the pit, into which carcasses are thrown, like a dead body trampled underfoot. Right. So it's just like when you have a pile of dead bodies, they just piled up. You don't even know who's down there, who's who. People don't even care. They just piling them up. You don't get no proper burial, and people remember what you are, who you were, and the things that you've done in life. That we're not gonna care about you. You're not important. It says, "You will not be united with them in burial, because you have destroyed your land. You have slain your people. May the descendants of evildoers never be named." In verse 20 in the KJV, "Thou shalt not be buried with them in burial. Thou be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities." In verse 21 in the AMP, "Prepare a slaughtering place for his sons, because of the wickedness, the sin, the injustice, the wrongdoing of their fathers. They must not rise and take possession of the earth, and fill the face of the world with cities." This is after the 1,000 years of hardcore captivity is over. The Lord is just going to exterminate them from being a nation on the earth. So I'm going to end it right there. But Lord will, this was an edifying lesson. Matter of fact, I'm going to end it back on the verse that I started with. Proverbs 28 and 17. "A man who is burdened," in the AMP, "with the guilt of human blood, which is murder," going into murder, not just murder. This is going into murder. That's what it means. The guilt of human blood, which is murder, "will be a fugitive unto death. Let no one support him or give him refuge." These other nations, they ain't gonna support you. They not gonna rally with you when y'all in captivity. They gonna see your power stripped away, and they gonna remember everything that you've done. You Edomites and everybody, the whole earth, everything in existence is gonna be against you. Everything in existence is already against you. But in the kingdom of heaven, when you lose your power, it's gonna be a different vibration. So Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. It was a lot longer than I wanted, but hey, it's through the Spirit. So Lord willing, it was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Until next time.